This is a turtle.
All right.
I like turtles.
All right, day 2, Wyoming. Mariah likes turtles. We're on a different mountain. We're at 80, 85?
I think we're like 87, 8,800 right now.
So
we're starting higher today and working down. And I don't think we're gonna get quite as low as we were yesterday, but.
So most of the sheds we found yesterday were about 7,800, 7,900 feet.
And they were all little.
Except for the fresh I picked up at the end. That one was at about 7,200 down in that sage flat. So we're going to give this spot a shot. We hadn't really ventured out and looked around too much from here, but we're kind of working back. We're probably 4 miles crow flight from where we were yesterday. Kind of working that direction somewhat, but just a little bit higher ground. Hoping we get into the bigger bulls. So
this is just a big ridge, and we're going to just drop off. There's just benches on benches on benches with sage flat openings and pockets of pines, and we're just going to work those down and see if we can't find something worth walking. There's a couple cow tracks here, but there has not been much up high, so we're hoping we're going to work into them because they're not up here.
Predictions for the day.
I have to point out right now that my prediction yesterday was right on the money, or our joint prediction. I can't remember if we both said the same thing or not.
I don't remember, but I know that we both said deer sheds, and all we ended up finding were elk.
But so. It was 3 and 2.
It was 3 and 2.
Because Kyle forfeited one to me.
I forfeited one.
And so, the prediction for today, I'm going to be optimistic. I think I'm going to find 4.
Okay. My goal is to find at least 2. But I'm going to say, if I had to predict what's going to happen today, I'm going to say Mariah comes back with 2 elk sheds, and I come back with 3.
I'm going to say I come back with 4, he comes back with 2.
We'll see what happens.
Okay, well, Kyle and I are split up for the day. We've been seeing sign. We're still dropping down to get into better, I think. But there's definitely fresh sign here, which we did not get into yesterday. So maybe we're getting closer to where they were a month ago. Neither one of us have found anything. You can see what we're working is just kind of this rocky stuff. And then I'm dropping down into the trees. So, we'll see. I like that I'm at least seeing elk sign, jump some bucks, hopefully start seeing some antlers. At this point, even some hard white or chalk, anything would really boost our confidence that we're in the right zone. So, fingers crossed.
Still no luck today. I'm about to cut off the side of this, down through the valley, and back up the mountain on that side. I'm just working my direction. Over there yesterday, we were about 3 miles that direction. There's a lot of, there's fresh elk sign here. There's not near as much elk sign as what was where we were yesterday. Not to me. I mean, yesterday there was elk sign everywhere. It was hard to believe we didn't find more than we did. But it's about 1:30. The day is still young. Got about 7 hours left to hike, so hopefully we're gonna turn something up before the end of the day. Well, I just got off the phone with Mariah. It's 2 o'clock and neither one of us are finding anything. There's elk sign. He said he jumped a small herd of elk. He saw a small bull, but there's some private off in the distance over here, and it just looks like it's better habitat. I mean, it's lusher, it's greener, and there's a small patch of some BLM land to the north of us here that it's a lot lower elevation. Right now I'm sitting at about 8,500. That was about 7,500 over there, and we're gonna pull out and we're gonna try to make it back to the truck within 2 hours. He's about 2 miles north of me, and I'm probably 2.5 miles straight line from the car right now, but over the mountains. So we're gonna try to book it back to the car and drive up that BLM and give it a shot for a couple hours before dark and hopefully get into something. And if not, we always got tomorrow, so we'll see how it goes. So we just got to the new spot. I'm not sure what Mariah's plan is. There he is right there. But I'm planning on kind of setting up here somewhere and glassing down in the sage through the bottom. See an elk rub right here. So we'll see. Got a couple hours. It's 5 o'clock right now. Well, Mariah just found one down in the bottom right here. There you go.
That would have been a stud.
Yeah.
That would have been my biggest by all means.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Thing's massive.
Well, I just made it back to the car. Nothing for me, so we'll see if Mariah finds anything else when he gets back. But for now, it's time for supper. So we didn't have any gas for our little cooker, so these little dehydrated meals, they will rehydrate with cold water. Just have to leave it in there a little longer. So chicken teriyaki for supper tonight for me. These things are pretty good. You can get them at about any Walmart. They taste good. Well, Ryan made it back to the truck.
Nothing more.
You did find a mule deer dead head.
That's true. Yep. I forgot to get that on video actually.
But I'll put a picture of it in here.
He's a sweet buck. I would have shot him.
Yeah. But he left it behind, so not really sure Wyoming's laws on deadheads right now.
Should look that up.
Figured we'd cross that bridge if we found something worth keeping, so.
We have a new game plan.
New game plan. We're gonna head south.
I'm gonna eat Alfredo.
He's eating Alfredo, and gonna probably try somewhere in Colorado tomorrow.
Yeah, Colorado just kicks my butt every time. So, I mean, Wyoming kind of has to.
Yeah, but at least we found some fresh stuff. Like we at least got some stuff.
Yeah. Pretty happy with the trip. It's been fun.
Yeah, a few years back we went to Colorado, and the very first day there, we did fairly well. There was 3 of us there on that trip, but we ended up heading south into New Mexico from there on that trip.
Yeah, and
we didn't do nothing hardly there either. It was a rough trip. I think we were in Colorado for at least 2 days.
Yeah.
I picked up 3 chalk antlers, all off of 1.5-year-old bucks. Nothing really worth keeping.
But you did.
Yeah, but they're in a sale pile now. They're not really worth displaying or nothing. So maybe we can change that tomorrow. So
we had a nice mule deer.
In 6.3 miles, take a slight left turn onto County Route 102.
Well, we're gonna take the slight left up here.
Yeah, GPS is trying to talk to us right now.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So, yeah, check out the sunset. So, at least the views are nice, even if the views aren't sheds. So, anyways, we'll see you in Colorado.
Miserable.
God, it's rained out right now. So, a bit of blow over. We're in Colorado now.
Gonna give a random spot a shot because all the other random spots have worked so well.
Maybe pick up a deer antler. If the rain will hold out, we'll see. Well, we finally found somewhere. All the places that look good have very little access, so it's raining. We're hiking up a hill and gonna give it a little bit of time.
See you 4.
See it 4. See what happens. Probably just gonna get soaked, but we'll see. You can see a hiking trail down through there. I'm like, well, I gotta get above this, so I came up high. I was gonna try to get up through these rocks to that meadow. There's a deer trail here, so I figured I'd walk it down. And I looked over, there's a deer shed curled up right there. I hadn't even walked down here to it quite yet. Just taking a second to look around and see about anything else. It's a 4-point. It looks like a freshie too. Oh man, I am so thankful for that. I am so incredibly thankful to find that deer shed. I've been sitting here telling Mariah this whole time that I really wanted to find a deer shed this trip. So I'm gonna take a good look around, get some as it lays, and then we'll pick it up. All right, let's check her out. Pretty nice. That actually looks like a freshie. It's a pretty nice shed. It might be last year, just got a little chew mark right there. But certainly my best Colorado shed by far. Gonna keep looking.
Okay. I'm almost dizzy. Finally on the board with a little deer shed up here above the houses. There's deer and elk signs, so that gives me confidence at least some have been missed. I'm sure this gets walked. But anyway, there it is. Try not to fall. Little, probably hard white. Maybe 2 years old, but a little forky in Colorado. It's the first deer shed of the trip. I'm happy. Finally. Oh boy. Well, keep walking. You can see it's real open up in here. There's beds all over, so no doubt that's why he dropped here. A bunch of houses down below us. Hopefully Kyle's getting into them.
I just picked this one up right here at the base of this tree, and I turn around and look, and there's a forker laying right here. I didn't even see a second ago. It's chewed up pretty bad. It's a break off, but it's a muley antler. Obviously, they definitely used this trail some. We're gonna keep looking. Booyah, baby, booyah. I'm walking this trail, and I look up. Right there's one right there. And it looks like it's my match. Nope, it's a little small, but it's a muley shed nonetheless. Whew. Well, it's not the match, but I just came over this little ridge, and we've got a little freshie laying right here. Cool little guy. Huh. I'm gonna keep in this little spot for a little bit. I think this is the right height I need to be at. Just gotta pick up a few more on the way to the truck. Well, that's the end of this trip. Smelled some deer.
Didn't do too bad.
Yeah.
The most heavy one, most massy one, biggest
Yeah.
one.
Kyle's. Yep. Then of course we got the little set. You want to pick those up? Kind of show them off.
Just a stud of a Wyoming bull.
I really like the little droopy
Yeah.
first on it, the little eye guards. But
Cool.
show the pedicles. These things have really interesting shaped pedicles to me. Well, the shadow's kind of bad, but pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And then of course, so there's the deer antler Mariah found today, then the break I found, and the little freshie. But here's definitely the coolest shed of the trip for sure.
He's got all this in here. So what would have happened is his first was growing, and then his beam in velvet broke right between the first and the second, and it drooped down, and that's why this is all bulby like that. That's actually from blood clotting and pooling in that drop beam.
So this is actually a right side from an elk, if you were wondering.
Yeah.
It's not a deer shed. It's an elk.
You can imagine it being on his head, something like that.
Yep, something about like that is what he would have looked like, which is pretty cool. That's a really unique shed. And then of course we've got my two deer sheds that I thought was going to end up being a set, but it wasn't. But and this one's got some acid staining kind of on it. You can still see some of the original color on it. But that's it for our first Wyoming trip. And
Knocked off a state.
yep. So didn't we're still leaving heavier than we came. So
And the plan is we're putting these, we actually had it at the store now, we're going to put these together, something like that. Actually sit pretty well. And we're going to check that as a bag. We're going to package them all up, check it as a bag.
So we're talking check it as a bag as in check it as a bag onto the plane.
Airline, yeah.
The rest...
Need to measure them and see. We might be able to fit that under the 62 minimum.
Mm-hmm. And the rest of the stuff, like the deer sheds and stuff, this one we're probably just gonna leave that one here or something. You know?
I think this one will just chuck.
But the rest of the stuff we'll just throw in our checked bags as well. So we'll see how that goes. We've never done that before. So, but I'm sure if we can carry 260 pounds of elk meat back on a checked bag, a couple of antlers won't be bad. But hope you enjoyed our Western adventure for the year.
Annual trip has come to a close.
Yep.
We do it every year. It's our 4th year doing this now.
Yep.
We did California, Nevada first year. Next year, New Mexico, Colorado. Last year we did New Mexico. Tried for Oklahoma.
We've also hit Texas on one of those trips on the way back.
And then this year, Wyoming, Colorado.
So
next year, I think we're talking Arizona, maybe Montana.
And Montana. So got to check off these states when we can. So after Wyoming, I've found sheds in 15 different states. Mariah has sheds from 18 different states. So
we still need to fill in the middle part of the U.S.
Yeah, we've
And
got
the
a
Northeast is untouched for both of us.
yeah, it is. Yeah, Wyoming is the most northern state that I have anything from. You've got South Dakota,
South Dakota,
So-
and Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. So,
Yeah.
anyways, catch you next time.